All right, here we go. Five folks. All right. She always want to wait. All right, we got 7 folks. Okay. she, she wants to wait, trying to be professionally.
5 of them is us,
No,
all the candidates.
more come something.
So,
All right, here we go. 10 people. 10 people. Greetings, greetings. Peace and blessings. We are the Mohammeds, the residential tourists, 85 to Africa. We are living in the after. Welcome, welcome. Once again, thank you so very much for lending to us your time and your energy for this current live, today's live. We're excited about it. We really are. Please, I know that there still may be a little echo, but let us know, please, how the sound quality is. Hopefully, the visuals are up to par, up to standard, that you can see us very clearly. And please let us know. Help us out, okay? All right, as always, we want to acknowledge our new subscribers. We want to thank you so very much for subscribing and being a part of the RT family. And definitely we want to thank those who have been riding and rocking with us from day one all the way to now. We appreciate you and your subscription and your viewership. And we also want to thank the newer members. We got some new members last week during the live, and I think we got 1 or 2 later on. So we want to acknowledge the members, and we have something revved up for you guys. And we want you guys to join the membership because we're anxious. We're really, really anxious. All right. So
those that are already a member of the membership, we're just waiting to get a little bit more members in before we start putting content in the group chat. So that's all that we're waiting for. We are aware that we should be doing some stuff by now.
we got you. I'm telling you. So, all right. So this was an interesting week. All right. We're trying to stay on top of things, trying to, bring the experience to you as consistently as we possibly can. And hopefully it'll only get better and better. We were fortunate, as some of you may have seen. If you have not seen, please go back and take a look at it. We were able to visit one of the most phenomenal schools in all of Kenya. Not to take anything away from the other schools. It's phenomenal to us because, it just really met us exactly where we needed to be.
But we do need to talk about it.
We can't see you, baby. Hey, look, isn't she so beautiful? We gotta see her. We gotta put the light on.
And it's pretty much maybe one of the last comments that I read last night that we need to talk about when it comes to not just showing the school, but I feel like some of the Kenyans want us to show the worst of Kenya.
Mm.
And I just want to make clear that you guys understand, we've seen that. That's what the US shows us. That's what Western media shows us. We're not here to show the worst parts of the continent. What we're here to do is show what Africa has to offer. And it's a lot. And for the most part, we're looking for the best of Africa. We're not focusing on going to the slums, going to the villages, going to the ghettos. That's not really our focus. We have all of that in the States. For many of us, that's what we want to get away from. We're trying to focus on having a good quality of life here on the continent and what that means and everything that means. So I apologize or I'm sorry that you feel that we were taken away from the actual educational condition here in Kenya. We weren't. We're just showing you one of the things that we saw that was mind-blowing and magnificent.
And let me, if I may, let me add to that. Since, we're pretty much addressing this to our Kenyan family, whom we greatly, greatly appreciate, you have to understand that for those of us who are from the States or across the diaspora, wherever we may be from, the UK, but specifically from America, I can only speak from our vantage point. The way that they present Africa to us, they present it as if it is worse than a third world nation.
Even that word, third world.
Right.
Even in a third world country, I don't even understand what that means.
So you have to understand that, when we highlight these things, we're not, it's not that we're saying that Africa is, like we're so shocked and surprised, but it is important for us that we give a report to those who may still be thinking about Africa based on the images and the way that they've been telling us about Africa for so many years, to show the world that no, Africa is up to par, right in step with the rest of the world. So one of those components, as we were taught from a very wise man, that education is the bedrock of civilization. And to know that there are not just one, there are many, 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 many institutions, both private and public, here, not only in Kenya, but on the continent, that offer and provide high-level education. Our girls did an assessment, and they got stuck because this particular school has a curriculum such that they don't want to indoctrinate. They don't want to just be taught by memorization. They want you to be critical in your thinking and taking the knowledge and be practical in its application beyond, the classroom, beyond the school, as you continue further in life. And that is phenomenal. And we believe that that is an approach to education that should be instituted throughout, everywhere.
Even our friends at Reclaiming Our Identity.
Right.
He spoke about his girls when they left Rwanda. They were in a private school there, and they're back in the States right now for a little bit, and the girls had re-enrolled in school, and they're actually—
Shout out to Reclaiming Our Identity. Go ahead.
They're actually a year ahead because of the learning, and it's the same curriculum, it's the IB curriculum. That curriculum is so much more advanced than what we get in the US, that it actually set them ahead of where they're supposed to be at. And that's what we don't get. We don't get any of that information. We're told that these third world countries have poor education, poor everything. And okay, so it's true. And so is in the States. You go to some of the public schools in the States, you go running out of there. It's just
Y'all saw
juvenile detention center.
Lean on me, and that was a real school in New Jersey.
Yeah. So we're not gonna highlight the worst of Africa. That's not for us to do. That's not what we're coming here for. That's not what expats are looking for. That's just not what we're not spending that kind of money coming from the States to come to the continent to go live in a hood, to go live in a ghetto, put our children's in the worst education system there is, to eat the worst quality of foods. We have that in the States.
Plenty of it.
Plenty,
Too much of it.
plenty. So I'm sorry if you felt that we're misleading our audience. Our audience got to understand, we're not here to give you the worst.
No, we don't, and then, again, to that, from some of the commenting, um, the focus or a point that was made and presented was the cost factor. Again, this particular school, this particular academy did not disregard that as a reality at all. And so they have in place, because we're speaking about ourselves now. We don't have it like that. So they have in place, a financial assistance program.
Which we're still waiting.
We're
to
still
see if
waiting.
They got accepted. Because
Right.
if they didn't,
We won't be going.
We can't afford it.
We can't afford it.
It ain't just the locals, no. RT can't afford, most Americans can't afford
it.
tuition. But the reason why we chose to do that school is because of the humanitarian aspect of their curriculum. And for you to say that we choose you on a base by base, regardless of your financial situation, that's great humanitarian right there. That's major for us. So I just wanted to make sure we cleared that up. We got Serafina, I know her intro, both, not Serafina, Sophia. And Sister Cheryl both had said that they were seniors, they were coming on here today to get a lot of their questions answered.
Yeah, we got you.
We're not going to do the recap too long, because I know you guys are ready.
Yeah, we got you. And Mama's ready. She's here, ready. Okay, we got you.
We have Serafina Love. She said, well said, my sister. Thank you. Queen Marion is on, so we got a lot of the sisters on today as waiting to hear this information. So we're not going to prolong it too.
Not gonna prolong it. We just want to touch real quick.
Yeah, we had to address that.
Yeah.
That was kind of frustrating. Every time we put up something positive, luxury apartments, a very nice school, a nice restaurant, we get, why y'all going there? Just eat local food, go to the village, go show the that's not what people come in here for.
I get it though. I understand, because you're trying to trying to spread the love as far as the money is concerned. I get that. I understand that. And it's not that we're gonna, we're disregarding that. We're not. So you gotta give us some time to be able to spread. We're here. We're not,
Right.
we're not just breezing through. We're here. So we will be able to highlight from the local standpoint, so we'll get there.
But Raquel said, greetings, your message is well received. There are Black Americans who still think lions are roaming the streets of Africa. I'm gonna put this up. Because it's real. They do be thinking that. You got family members talking crazy like that.
I got some family members talking crazy, like, hey, you see some lions, Rocket? I was like, what you
I
talking
want to
about?
see some lions.
No.
Look, I mean, I'm fascinated because I get to see monkeys every day.
All right.
I do have some monkeys that be jumping in the trees, and that just makes my day. Monkeys and butterflies and lizards. I am so happy. Good Lord, that is the only animals. Are you still in Nairobi? No, we live in Mombasa.
We're in Mombasa. Mombasa. Hopefully we're saying that correct. We got checked on it.
You're going to check again.
Excuse me.
I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're saying it right. Why did I ignore that? So, you want to recap on something else? That's all I had last week.
No, I think that's it that we did cover this week. We did that piece, and
we just did the cafe, just showing y'all kind of the cafe that we like, the school. We get to this one.
I want to say we did more, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. We just wanted to, just acknowledge and address that. I know most of you on here are not even concerned about that stuff there, but
that's
it's
the
out
thing
there.
we needed to clear up, was the energy of that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so our coming and moving here to Africa, right, truly was and still is a blessing, okay? For both my wife and I, I mean, for anybody, it's a major decision, to make that long transition from so far away. And I don't know, I can speak for myself, and I think I can speak for my wife as well, but she'll correct me if I'm incorrect. I don't know if it would have been as easy if our mothers didn't come along with us. Knowing that we are so far away and our mothers still back in the States and they're growing in age. They still got, my wife, my mother still has some in her. Unfortunately, my mother-in-law passed, but she was rocking and rolling to the very end.
But see, that's the thing that we know is a mental adjustment because we weren't going to come unless they came.
There's no way we could have done it.
Mm-mm.
No way.
My mom, no.
No, it wouldn't have happened.
But we got the kind of moms that's like, oh, where we going? All right, let's do it.
They was like, what's taking y'all so long?
Yeah, yeah, they were quick. They rushed us, or rushed him. I was right there.
Yeah, I had to,
But everybody don't have, everybody's mom ain't trying to deal with the lions walking down the street. We understand that. So it's going to be a mental adjustment because a lot of y'all are like, all right, well, I'm grown, you grown, I'll see you when I see you, mom. But we did, fortunately, we didn't have that situation.
Right. We were blessed, truly blessed.
Yeah.
Truly blessed.
So with that.
So we have, I'll just, say we'll dedicate this, this segment to my mother-in-law. She's not physically with us. I know she would have loved to have been present to be able to address this as well, but we were thankful to have had her and her to have been able to have this experience with us, while she was among us. So, and I'm sure my wife could probably share some things that were shared with her that she observed as it relates to her mother while she was here with us on her behalf. And when we do have my mother, who is still rolling and rocking, with us, hanging in there, and she's our feature for today. Mm-hmm. She's our feature, and
oh, do we know how to make the clock sound?
Yeah, not like we not that fancy yet. So let's bring her on in, and let's see if I can do that right. Are you in there, Mama?
I'm here.
All right, she's in. Mama's here. Mama's here.
Greetings and blessings to all, beloveds.
All right, now let us know if we got an echo.
There is.
All right. So here we go. I'm gonna turn my mic off for a minute.
So is that mic?
Is that mic?
So whistling.
Yeah.
All right, bear with us.
1 second, people. Try to get this mic right.
Hello. This is what we're going to do. You sit there. Just sit there. All right, so Mama's going to sit here. Y'all don't want to hear from me. So Mama going to sit here. Y'all can hear from Mama. I'm going to be around. Y'all hear directly from Mama. All right, here she goes.
Okay. Can everybody hear us? There's one person tell me you can hear us because we can push the buttons. It's highlighted. There's one.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying anything.
Greetings.
Okay, can I say yes?
All right.
Okay. So this is Mama Deborah, Lamont's mom.
Greetings.
Coming to us from, give us a little background, where you from?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a military brat, so I'm a little bit everywhere, okay? We started out, I was born in Pennsylvania. Born in Pennsylvania. Lived in New York, traveled with my father and my mother to different states, and settled in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, when my father retired. So I'm from a little bit of everywhere. Yeah, from a little bit of everywhere. My family, my mother was from Pennsylvania, my father was from New York. And we just international.
How many siblings do you have?
I have three siblings, 4 children, including myself. I have a sister, baby brother, who is a warrant officer, a retired warrant officer in the Army. My father was a sergeant major in the Army. My sister is a stay-at-home mom, well, grandma now. And I have my brother under me who is deceased.
Okay, so now you have your younger sister and your younger brother that's still alive,
Correct.
that you're very close with.
Yes.
And how many children do you have?
I have 3 children, 3 sons. One who I'm blessed to be living with, him and his wife, which I consider my daughter. Okay? And 2 that are still in America, living in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
And grandchildren?
I have 7 grandchildren. 7. I have 6 girls and 1 boy. I always wanted a girl. With all 3 of my pregnancies, I always wanted a girl. Never got one, but I got them now. I got them now.
All right, so with that history, we can see you got a nice sized family. There's 2 siblings that's still alive. You have 2 children that's still in the States and a handful of grandbabies that are in the States.
Yes.
So knowing that, you're gonna move all the way to another continent. We're gonna talk about the mental preparation that it took to make that happen, the mental frustrations or the mental torment or just a mental adjustment that it took to even get to the point where Mr. Muhammad gotta be doing stuff, y'all. I don't see questions. So we're gonna talk about the mental, what it took to make that happen. So 2019, we started talking about it. At that time, did you really think that it was gonna happen?
No, I did not. I had just recently, at that particular time, lost my father, which I had always told my siblings that once mom and daddy were gone, I was out. I didn't care I didn't know where I was going. I just knew that I did not want to be in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So the situation came about me living in Atlanta, for 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
With my son and his wife, was that my father needed a inexpensive nursing home. So we brought him to Atlanta, put him in a beautiful nursing home. And that's where he passed. I was devastated because he was basically my life. My mother had gone before. So anyway, once he passed, I didn't know what I was going to do. And when the opportunity, or when my family presented me with the, option to go to Africa, I always wanted to go. I always wanted to come to Africa. There's something in my spirit that just wanted to be in Africa. So when I had no thoughts. I didn't have a second thought. My answer was yes. My answer was yes, I was ready. I was ready. I have my soon-to-be 13-year-old granddaughter who I've had since she's been 9 months old. And the only thing that registered in my mind was her experience something other than the United States.
Right. One of the the drive after us leaving was because we had these girls and because they were seeing things and being exposed to things that children shouldn't be exposed to. Before you guys came, I was sharing with you yesterday, one of the things that she came and told me was somebody was shot down the street from her house. And she was like, yeah, they were shot. And it wasn't like shocking. It was just conversation. She's 8 years old at that time, so it was like, now they're getting really desensitized to the way life is here. And that was one of the things I know we presented to you guys. Let's go and try to give our girls a different way of life. Let them see something different than death at their doorsteps every day, right?
And that was, to me, that was my main focus. Yeah, I feel like I had a second chance with my granddaughter that I couldn't afford or wasn't able to do with my children. So when this opportunity presented itself, I was all for it. I was ready. Now, my oldest son and her father,
Well, wait,
okay.
I want to ask you, so
Okay.
now we're like, okay, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
You had to, and we were watching YouTube videos, Unapologetic Nomad, Buddha Maya, a couple of them at that time, Jay Essence, a couple of them that was actually in Rhonda that we were watching. And I was sending it to you guys, telling you to come look, come look, come look every day. Like, but we made it like it was, because we're doing COVID. So everything is shut down. The girls are doing homeschooling. We don't want to watch the news. We just YouTube all day, taking notes, trying to figure out how this is going to work. So once we actually settled on we're doing this, who did you tell first? Do you remember?
I told my oldest son first.
Okay.
My oldest son, Aaron, I told him first. He was not happy, and sometimes he's still not, But he had his life, which was up and down, up and down, up and down. My youngest son, his life was up and down. That's why I have his daughter. His life is up and down, up and down. So it hurt me that they felt that way, not seeing the bigger picture, not seeing that it was not just for me, but it was for that little girl. So it did hurt me at first, but I had come to grips with it, I was ready to go. So they had to either get over it or just accept it. That was just my thinking at that time.
Did it at any point having those conversations with your children, did it make you want to just say, forget it, never mind? I can't do it.
It never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind because of the simple fact that I knew that the two of them were on a different path. They had their own lives to deal with. And with me and the grandbaby being there, okay, I couldn't always be able to call on them and tell them, okay, hey, I need this, or hey, I need that, I need the other. I just knew they had their other lives and they had other things in their life that they had to get straightened out. So that saying no, I don't want to go, never crossed my mind.
So how was it telling your siblings? What kind of things did they say in response to you telling them?
My baby brother is one of those that it's like, okay, if that's what you want to do, I'm here for you, but if that's what you want to do, fine. My sister, she was going through a lot. She's still going through a lot, but I was concerned for her, but I also knew that she had children, And I raised her, basically raised her. And it was time for her siblings, or her children, not siblings, her children, to step up and take care of her. I took care of all of them all my life. It was time for somebody else to take care of her. So she was happy, but not happy. And it's only because I knew she would miss me. I knew she would miss me, but she
Your
wasn't.
sister's your best friend.
Yes, yes.
So not just her missing you, you miss her.
I miss her too. Yes, I do. You know, she has her faults just like everybody else, but she's still my sister.
Mhm.
You know, so and I do miss her. You know, but it was just something. I'm a selfless type person, but at that particular moment, I felt like there was something I had to do for me and for this other child that I'm raising, my grandchild. You know, so I kind of pushed all of that aside and just said, let's do it.
So once we got through that, and I know even, because it took us, once you guys said y'all wanted to do it, we left, came and did our scouting for a little bit. I think we were gone for about 2 weeks. And once we got back, we were prepared. I think we did 90 days and then we were out. So we were preparing, we were selling everything, we're getting everything together. Some of the things that we did that people don't think about is we did a living will. Because we had to make sure that we understood and it happened, right? If you were to pass away while we're here, we don't plan on going back to the States. What is your, what's your plans? How do you want it to be handled? Do you want to be shipped back home? Do you want to be buried here on the continent? Do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? Like we had to make sure that we have everything in writing. So when the time comes, and if we're still alive, all we got to do is send it to the children. This is your mom's wishes. This is what she wanted done. So there's no confusion. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
So once we did that, did it change anything mentally for you, knowing this is for real and we're not going back?
It was a thought in the back of my mind because of the simple fact that I know we are close knit family. I know how my oldest and my youngest would feel about not seeing their mother one last time. This is why I have in place in my mind to do a living video with all of the things that we discussed about what I want, how I want it, and why I want it. I want to be cremated.
You don't have to tell your
Yeah.
final wishes here, but these are things that you gotta know and think about, especially as the seniors or the mamas, or if you just have in your mind, period, I'm going and I'm not coming back, and you have children at home. This is something you wanna make sure is done. My mother passed away in Rwanda. And the cremation part, we didn't have in the living will, but this is something my mom told me probably every week. She's always talking about she died, if she died, cremate me, blah, blah, blah. And it was funny because when we were discussing her rights, her last rites, my brother was like, she never told me that. And I was like, oh, he should have put it in writing then, right? But we didn't have any issue because he know as being Muslim, that's not something that I would just freely say, let's cremate mom. No, this was her wishes. That's what she wanted. And it was easy for us. But for those that have, we're not going to do that. For those of you that have children, more than one, that's still going to be in the States, you definitely want to have that.
Yes, exactly. And I know we need to have that clarity. My oldest son already knows that I do want to be cremated.
Mhm.
He won't, they know that. So the fact that they're not I want to say not concerned, because they are concerned. If I pass, they won't be able to see. And that's just with them, it's just a mental thing.
Well,
When
that's,
I say mental,
Yeah.
they weren't happy with me coming here in the first place.
Mhm.
So they'll go through that. They will, and I know they'll go through that. But these are my wishes.
yeah.
This is what I want.
So how do you handle knowing it's possible, one, you might not see your other two boys again physically, or two, if you were to pass on the continent, they might not be able to come and to attend your funeral or your celebration of life or whatever it is that we're going to do that you want done.
I've thought about that a lot. And knowing my two sons, okay, they can celebrate my life without me being there because I'm not there.
Right, right.
So their celebration of my life can be there whether I'm with them or not.
Mhm.
You know, they don't need, what do I say? They don't need my permission to celebrate my life. They don't need my permission. If they love me as much as they say they do, they will celebrate my life because my life is not me being gone. My life is what I did while I was living. Okay, so the celebration should not stop because I'm not there in ashes or in casket or whatever. The celebration should not cease because I'm not physically there.
And mentally, you're
And
okay knowing
Yes,
that they
I
are.
am. Because if that's going to be the only reason why they're upset for me being here somewhere where I'm at peace, then they have to live with this.
Something you have to-
I gotta say, read this.
Can you pin it? Just touch it. And it'll
Yeah.
pop up.
You gotta. That's a powerful statement. Can you see that one?
No, I can't. I can't.
It's too small. Okay, it says, upon my first trip to our motherland, to walk the land, one can feel and hear the ancestors saying, this one made it back. Karibu. Bakara,
Color.
Makara. Oh, Bakara.
Right.
I don't have my glasses. I'm not illiterate, I promise you.
I'd like to interject on that. When we first came to Rwanda, when I stepped off that plane in Rwanda, exactly what she was talking about is what I felt. Is what I felt. And I have expressed this more than once, is what I felt. It was like something in me, a spirit or ancestors, whatever, however you want to look at it. When my feet touched the ground in Rwanda, when my feet touched the ground in Rwanda, I just felt overwhelmed. Something within me I was just overwhelmed. Number one, I made it. Never thought I would, but I'm here. And that's when I first got to Rwanda. Now, being in Rwanda, like I always say that your home is where you make it. And at that particular time, Rwanda was my home, and I felt like I was home. But then after a while, when you stay there, and it's like any place, when you stay there and you get to know the people and you know the culture and you know, that feeling kind of went away because I didn't feel like, the people didn't make me feel like I was at home. They didn't make me feel like I was home. They stared at us like we were.
Okay, that's a good. Thank you, Nina Roberts, for that blessing. We greatly use, I know y'all still hear the echo. I know you still hear the echo. We still need furniture. So, you know, we greatly appreciate it. Kayon, right? Can you read it? And, okay, as a high school graduation present, I want to expose her. My goal is to transition on the motherland. And Casey Moore. Oh, I plan on taking a trip with my granddaughter. Understand your settlements. Yes, yes. So so your driving force was making sure you got your granddaughter to the motherland, to Africa, to experience something greater than what we've ever imagined. Right? We talked about it. We said this was like the prayer that we forgot to pray for. I never even looked at Africa like that's where we're, actually, I remember saying, I don't want to go to Africa. I remember that being an everyday thought. So it's definitely divinely guided that we actually came this route because this wasn't even on the radar, period. So we also planned to have like the family gathering before we left. Friends and family gathering. I remember we did that, and everybody came. We had an event at one of our friends' farm. Everybody was horseback riding, and we had a little bit of food, and we just had a good time. But I remember when it was over, and as people were leaving and we're getting the final hugs, for myself, I was having moments. I was getting choked. I was like, okay, are we for real? Because I think our gathering was like 3 days before we left. And I'm like, are we really doing this? Are we really saying goodbye to these people that I've known for all our life? And second guessing, like, I remember going in the bathroom in the shower crying because I couldn't believe that we were going to do this. And then I started getting anxiety. Are we going to make it? Are we really going to do it? I always had this feeling like something's going to happen before we can actually get out and do this. Did you go through any of those mental struggles like I did?
I did. The emotional struggles. But yes, even though I always wanted to go or always wanted to come, it didn't dawn on me that once it was reality, that, you know, I'm leaving two children behind, two siblings behind, you know, family members that I may never see again. So emotionally, yes, it did affect me that way.
Mhm.
It did affect me that way. Kind of put me into a kind of depression
Mhm.
state. But then once again, I had to look at the bigger picture.
The whys.
Mhm.
The whys. For going to the airport, and we're being dropped off. My daughter dropped us off, and at that time, my best friend, Ahmed, dropped us off. And I remember when he left, I gave him a hug. Me and him both cried a little bit. We've been friends almost 25 years. But he left, and then my daughter, you know, she has all the luggage because she had her big car, I forgot what it was. Hugging her by almost made me pass out. I'm trying not to get emotional, but it almost made me pass out because I'm hugging her, I'm praying over her, I'm leaving her for the first time. When I'm saying first time leaving, knowing this was going to be a long time before I see her again. And she's grown. At that time, she was 26, 25, somewhere around there. She's been grown in college. She has her own place. She's been gone out of the house. But knowing that I'm leaving my child, and she's a girl, and I've always been her protector, and I'm leaving her and not knowing when mommy going to see you again? Hugging her that last time, I remember feeling myself almost black out and making myself come back, like, okay. And she's like, mommy, come on, come on. And like, it was a mess out there. But that was extremely hard for me. Like, I still think about that probably every couple days, that hug and the praying. I never prayed over her so hard in my life. Do you struggle with remembering that? I remember the last time your oldest son hugged you, we were outside. And I was like, wow, she cried. I was quite proud of him. And you know, he's a big crybaby. He had a whole tantrum that weekend. He told me, if my mom died here and I don't see her, I'm gonna blame you. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
He's my crybaby. He is my crybaby. But, I did have emotions at that particular time with leaving them, the two. And I cried in silence, which I do a lot. I internally try to keep all my emotions down. So it's one of those, I gotta be strong for them. You know, I gotta be strong for them. The emotions were there, the tears were there, but I just could not let them see me actually break down. Because once I did that, then the first thing they would holler was, well, see, I know she didn't really want to go, you know, but it wasn't about that. It was just the fact, like you said, not knowing if and when I will see them again.
Is there any questions that anybody's asking? Are you sure they can hear us? Okay. So is there any, now you've been here almost 3 years, right? And on the continent for 3 years. Been in Rwanda 2.5 years. Now we're making our way through Kenya. And as exciting as going through these, this new life, this new adventure, there's still mental, you know, we still have a hard time adjusting to maybe we made a mistake and watched the news. And we see what the weather's going on over there. We see how life is going on in Atlanta. We see what they're doing in Harrisburg. And you still are worried and concerned about your grown children. Does it still have an effect on your mental, just talking to them?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Because I don't care how old your children get, you're always going to worry about them. You know, the difference between you and your child and me and mine, so you have a girl. You know, and everybody expects the boys or the men to be able to stand up and take care of themselves. And this is what, in some respects, gave me comfort. I knew people thought that I coddled them and they were whatever, what have you. They were mama's boys or whatever. But I know the two of them, regardless of how they do things, they're going to be okay. I've always felt this. I've always felt that my oldest, he's been through a lot. And he's finally pulling himself up. My youngest is getting there. It's taking him a long time, but he's getting there. Okay? But I knew by them being grown men, they either have to, take care of business or fall on their face and pick themselves back up.
And I think eventually they'll see the blessing in, because it took you to leave for them to stand up.
Because I was there, quote unquote.
She wouldn't stop breastfeeding them. She wouldn't stop breastfeeding them.
Yes, I was, yeah. And people had often, friends of mine often told me, when you gonna cut that umbilical cord? When you gonna cut that cord, you know? But knowing that growing up with 3 sons, and it was just me, basically, and my 3 sons, with the help of my mother and father, that we were close like that. We were close like that.
So Wanda said, oh, Miss Wanda, yeah. She said, hi, Mohammed. I was the same. Africa wasn't a thought, but the knowledge of love kept increasing. Now, as a retiree, my husband and I are going to Rwanda next month. We will definitely visit Kenya. Okay.
Okay.
Well, keep in mind, Rwanda's in their rainy season, but we look forward to seeing you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Another one. Work your dream and you guys are an inspiration. It's hard leaving emotionally, but it's hard on your mental health, staying in.
It's important. It's also hard on the mental health, staying consistent.
I'm sorry, I missed the word. It's also hard on your mental health staying in this sick country. That's true.
It is true. It's very true. It is very true. I never had, when I was in Rwanda, I met so many people from the States. I have always been an introvert. I never had a lot of quote unquote friends. I was always basically a loner. But when I got to Rwanda and a lot of people from the States, I met a lot of people.
A lot of expats that are solo and retirees. So you had a whole crew.
I did, you know. She was, Miss Wanda was one of them. And I embraced them all. I embraced them all, you know, and I'm looking for that here.
You know, it'll come because y'all are emailing us every.
I'm
By the
looking-
time we hang up, we'll have some email. By the time I wake up, there'll be an email.
I'm looking for that here. Come. We, in Rwanda, we developed, some of the women and some of the expat women developed a senior female group, and we called ourselves the Queen Angels. And the Queen Angels were a group of women who just did whatever they wanted to do. They were relaxed. They enjoyed
They
life.
ran Rhonda. They ran that place.
We enjoyed life, you know. We enjoyed, and I'm missing that here now. I am missing
They're
that here
coming.
now.
They're coming. We have some that arrived today, this morning.
Mm.
And we have people that's coming on Tuesday. There's people that's coming at the end of the month. So the mamas are coming.
Come, please, come. You won't regret it. You will not regret it. Yeah.
Welcome to your ancestral land and feel at home. Karibu Sana. That means welcome.
Okay.
Welcome very much, Mama. Ah, you like my
Thank
Kiswahili?
you.
So, yeah, that's definitely, I forgot what I was saying. That was definitely one of the challenges
Yes.
is looking for your tribe, looking for a group of people that relate
Just
to.
relate to and just to do things with, you know. Right now, there's, I have my family here, my grandchildren, you know, my two grandbabies. Here's my grandbabies. Yeah. Mine,
She called
yeah.
you mom.
Yeah.
What's she called? Gamma.
Gamma, yeah. My two grandbabies, you know. But there are times when I just need someone who can relate to me. In other words, someone in my age group that know exactly what I'm going through. Maybe they've gone through it, you know. Someone that I could talk to see maybe whether we could help each other.
And I can understand that. We all go through that. I'm like, I need a girlfriend. I wish my best friend would just come on. And I would try to figure out how I can one day just get her. Just come on. Because you need that. You do need, especially when you're in a foreign country. Not necessarily Kenya, because everyone understands you well. But in Rwanda, I went through that heavily because it's a little different when you're just misunderstood every day. Every day. And it's not like you're speaking it language, you speak English, they're speaking English, but they're not understanding the English. So you're thinking you're getting your thoughts across. It was just very frustrating. And it kind of was like a mental torment. Here, it's not like that too
It's
much.
not, definitely not.
Yeah.
Here, I can definitely say, when they say, and I never heard a lot of this in Rwanda, when they say Yambo, means hello,
Jump.
Jambo,
Yeah.
Jambo. When they say Jambo, means hello. You get that. I don't care where you are or where you go. It's Jambo, welcome. Welcome. They welcome you all the
Yeah.
time. You know, and that in itself is inspiring to me, to know that at least I feel like I'm welcome. You know, they make you feel welcome.
And then they leave you alone.
Yeah,
So it's
you
not
know,
like-
so it's not like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just, and it's always sincere. It's always sincere. And here, you know, seniors my age, we all mamas. You know, everybody calls us mamas.
Somebody call me mama.
I know.
I said, call me auntie.
But they call you mama here. If I'm in a store, and I've noticed this, if I'm in a store and I'm looking like, or I'm walking like I'm tired or I can't, you know, continue to walk, someone will come and bring me a chair. Here, mama, sit down. Sit down, mama, sit down. You know, so they welcome us here.
Yeah.
So
It's-
that's good. That leads into announce that right there. And that leads to-
So many of us heard the call of our ancestors. We gotta go. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta come.
Um,
All right. Please share about the locals who see us from the diaspora. How do they? Okay. The locals we've met, they're like, I don't know, they homies.
Exactly.
They don't see you like, oh, the Black Americans are here. They kind of treat you like homies, and that's how we feel. We've met some with the agenda, you know, not, you know, again, we're going to share our story with the members only, but, you know, we've had some that scammed us. And then there's just some that's just like, y'all need something, let me know. And they go on about their business. But the thing is that's unique about Kenya, that's unique about Mombasa, is everybody's a little something different. So we'll go outside to the pool. We have Kenyans that are Indians, Kenyans that are Somalians, Kenyans that are Arab.
It's like a melting.
It's a melting pot. And everyone is just like, hey, how you doing? Like, it's, and I've been like, okay.
So this guy wants to know this question.
Mhm. That's me. I think, no, so okay, help me. When you say, who's the Swahili lady in the black? So one guy on the beach told us the Swahili people were the Indian,
Arabs and Bantu.
Arabs and the Bantu tribe
Yeah,
mixed,
yeah, Swahili.
and they had a baby, and that's me. Okay. As long as I'm not, you're not calling me Muslim, I'm happy. Call me any form of black, I'm happy.
Same person says.
Yambani Mama. Okay, Yambani, I heard that before. What does that mean? Welcome something mama. What does the Yambani mean? Romeo. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Romeo blessed us nicely last Sunday. I kept seeing his name. I said, oh, Romeo, Romeo. Reggie Mont, what is it? Peace and blessings at the residential, oh, Regamon, yes.
That's our duty.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming back. When you have any questions for Mama, our special guest.
Home. Home.
Oh, okay. So welcome, Karibu. Welcome home, Mama. Got it. Nyumbani.
So much.
Karibu, nyumbani, karibu nyumbani. Asana, how about that?
Something.
Asante.
No, you could say sana, sana. He did, sana. That means much.
That don't make sense. Something.
Welcome home very much. Yeah, I'm just the third Swahili people. So, yeah, so that's one, the mental, challenges that you go through, not seeing your family, missing big events. My daughter asked, Mom, if I got married, are you gonna come home? And I'm like, why you gotta do that for?
That's the question, my grandbaby, her father said the same thing, you know.
If you got married?
No. He said, I'm gonna miss out on her graduation and all this other stuff. I said, yeah, you said, do what you're supposed to do. Save your money and plan. It's something my two sons are not big at, is planning.
Well, and see, the thing is, people understand, if you plan it right, flying to Africa round trip is not expensive. It's not expensive. Your oldest son likes sneakers. Tell him it's the cost of 5 pairs of sneakers, he'd be here. And it's not that expensive. And you can, one thing we do as Black people, we'll spend money on whatever we want. We'll figure it out. Pico said Kiswahili and Persian.
Kiswahili, Persian, Arab, Bantu, or Coast tribe.
Oh, Persian,
That's what
Arab,
makes-
Bantu, Persian.
That's what makes up Swahili.
I don't know Arab in me though. I don't see no Arab. My people are from the land of this country.
And, just, you know, the intermarried with the Bantu speaking people and the Arabs are on the east side of the coast, give rise to the Swahili.
I don't want to be the Swahili people no more. Our DNA says we're from Igbo, Nigerian. But it says something about Kenyans too, but it wasn't no Arab. I don't want to be Arab or Muslim. That's it.
So, question. The question.
Mama, how can we help to make you feel at home in Kenya? Oh, sometimes we just don't know what to do.
Oh.
That's a beautiful question,
That
brother.
is a beautiful question because of the simple fact that I already feel at home here in Kenya. I do, I feel at home here. I feel at peace here. You know, I'm a retiree, you know, and my money's not long, but I already feel at home here. And I can go to one of these malls here. And just the other day I was there. And this woman, she never spoke to me. But when she walked up on me, she gave me the most beautiful smile. You know, and to me, a smile can change anybody's mood or feelings or whatever they're going through. A smile will change that in a second. And I see that a lot here in Kenya. Just a smile. People will smile at you, you know, and just keep going, you know, and to me, that's just welcoming enough. It's welcoming enough.
You know, one of the things before we came that made me hurry this process of coming to Africa up was to be in the news in Atlanta, an older lady, a retiree, had someone that broke into the house, robbed her, and raped her. And after that, every time me and my husband would leave the house, my mom would get nervous. She would lock the windows, and you know, we need to get good fresh air, especially certain times of the year. You want the windows up. She would shut all the windows, lock the windows, put the screen lock on the door, and shut the doors and lock them. I mean, she locked the doors. She locked up, and she was getting nervous being in her own home. And that for me was motivation. Like, okay, we got to get them out of here. We got to hurry this up. here in Kenya and Rwanda.
You know,
Rwanda,
we ain't had to worry about none of that. None of that we have to worry about. You know, the security here is impeccable. It really is. It's impeccable. I can go to the mall or to one of these malls by myself and not have to worry about a thing.
right.
Because you got
They major security.
They walk around with AK-47.
They do.
They walk around with AK-47.
They don't bother nobody.
They don't bother nobody, but you better not act a fool.
And it's funny, in Kenya, I've never even seen their security talk. I never. Rwanda, they'll be talking and laughing and being amongst
I
each other.
haven't even seen their police department to
Yeah.
see an accident and keep right on going. Like
Oh,
ain't nothing
Rwanda?
going on.
Yeah, Rwanda, they be like, "Yo, what y'all doing?" But here, I've never even seen them talk. They don't bother nobody, they ain't talking, but they there. And they everywhere, like just as thick here as it is in Rwanda. But the security aspect for the mamas, knowing we can leave for days and come back and they still feel safe. They still feel good. They're not worried, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. That is so true. So true. You know, I don't worry about feeling safe because I feel safe.
Mhm.
I do. I feel safe. Like I said, I'm at peace. Okay, feel at peace.
So can you make it in Kenya without learning Swahili? I know 4 words, and I just shared them all with you.
I know too.
Karibu, Santi Sana,
I know Karibu
and
and Poli
Poli Poli. We learned that one in Tanzania.
Tanzania. Poli Poli. It means slowly, slowly.
Of course, I know some target words that you have to learn. Everyone speaks English. Everyone, every different type of person. English and Swahili, of course, is the main language here, but English is the top. It's a top
And
second.
they understand it very well.
Yeah. Some of them, you don't even hear an accent. Like I'm staring, I'll be saying, "Is he American?" I mean, their English is like the Rwandans say is sweet. Their English is sweet. Rick Hill says it's beautiful to hear the perspective of our elder. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yes. So that's all we have for you guys today. Again, we wanted to thank you so much for chiming in, watching our videos this week. We have some more in store for you. Thank you guys. Please help support the channel. If you can, we have the Cash App, PayPal, residential tourists for both of them. We have ZELLE, we have Apple Pay. Just put what you need, let us know. Listen, membership, please join the memberships, and we have a whole separate itinerary for the memberships. Hopefully, we're starting that this week. We get a couple more members in there, but that will be starting this week as well. And check out our merch line. I don't know if you've seen Muhammad today with the 196,940,000 square miles on his shirt. Pretty much just represent the whole planet Earth is ours. So we have a lot of that on our merchandise line. Please check that out as well. And if you have any questions, like, I don't even have to say that part. Email us. We answer. But y'all do that anyway already. And hopefully we'll see you here on the motherlands.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you gonna come in and say goodbye to the people? You wanna say, come on and thank everyone, let's thank Mama again for sharing some of her insight. We've never brought her on the channel that way. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us. May God continue to bless you all. Thank you so much. Again, when you're thinking about coming over, these are the challenges and the things that you really, really, really got to think about. Because for some of us, once you make that move, you ain't going back.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
So, you coming to say goodbye? Grandpa moving slow, y'all. He moving slow. He coming.
196. See, that's what she's talking about. Right.
See, he said he never got notified without this.
Yeah, we're still, listen, family, we're still working things out. You know, I hope you can hear me. I'm shouting in my mother's ear. She's like, you in my ear, you shouting.
But Spark said our audio wasn't good.
Our audio's not good. We're working on it.
I'm
We're
sitting here
working
with the
on it.
big microphone. It's not good.
And it's the echo. Like we told you last week, we still don't got.
We don't have no furniture.
We're still working on our furniture to kind of absorb some of this acoustics. You understand, you know, but just bear with us. We thank you for your patience. We do thank you so very much for the time you lent. I can't say that enough. Thank you for receiving our mother. Thank you for allowing her a moment to share with you of her experience. And we pray that she will have many, many more, and all of those other experiences that she will have are good ones. And we thank you. We thank you for your kind words and your compliments. Please, if you will, please help our algorithm. Help us out. You know, we're trying, and you know, we can only continue to grow and develop and hopefully get better. We want to be able to provide you with, as my wife was saying earlier, some good experiences, man, some good stuff. You know, we don't want to give you the fluff. We want to always be authentic. However, we want to be able to provide you with some good stuff. The Quran said, bring glad tidings to those who believe. So we want to bring glad tidings as much and as often as we can. So if you're first time viewing, please subscribe. We would very much appreciate it. And we thank you for your comments. And what else is there? I think that's it. So thank you once again. Please enjoy the rest of your, I think, morning. Is it morning there?
Yeah.
Morning, early afternoon, as we are moving toward our sunset here in Mombasa. And, you know, it's hard for me to say goodbye. My wife might have to say goodbye.
Peace.
Okay, I hope that